お、なんでしょう。あ、
吸わせてもらえませんか。
何をなんて野暮は言わない。来て。大人に
ちょっとカズマさんが干物になっ
なんという期待外れ。
Welcome back to Konosuba Season 1, arguably one of the best and funniest isekai anime out there. Last episode we had the duel between the simp Kyuya and Kazuma.
言いたい放題言いやがって。
One of the realest fights in anime. No hesitation, no long monologues, just good old-fashioned rush attacking. Damn Steel is undoubtedly the most powerful spell in the series. Get ready for another round of hilariously unpredictable antics. Fed up with Megumin's constant use of his castle for explosion practice, Verdia decides to take matters into his own hands.
Why do you keep bombarding my castle?
Despite being easily susceptible to Aqua's purification magic, Verdia summons an army of undead creatures to aid him. However, this proves to be a fruitless effort as the army is quickly defeated by Megumin's explosive spells, leaving Verdia in a precarious position. Determined to regain control of the situation, Verdia enters into a battle with darkness, hoping to gain the upper hand.
You are strong!
Enough!
Meanwhile, Kazuma carefully observes the situation and deduces Verdia's weakness: water. With this knowledge, Kazuma instructs Aqua to attack Verdia with a flood, successfully weakening him and giving them an opening. Taking advantage of the situation, Kazuma cunningly steals Verdia's head,
Oh no.
creating an opportunity for Aqua to defeat him with her magic. As the dust slowly settles, Kazuma and his party breathe a collective sigh of relief. Victory is finally theirs. They had just defeated the mighty Verdia, and the satisfaction of their achievement is almost palpable. Their hard work and determination have paid off in the form of a hefty reward, which they all eagerly anticipate. However, their celebration is short-lived, as they quickly realize the havoc that Aqua's flood had wreaked on the town. The once bustling streets are now deserted, and the buildings stand battered and bruised. The sight of the destruction is heart-wrenching, and they know they can't leave things as they are. With a heavy heart, Kazuma and his party decide to use their hard-earned reward to pay off the damages and restore the town to its former glory. It's a daunting task, but they are determined to see it through to the end. They start working tirelessly, cleaning up the debris and rebuilding what has been destroyed. It's not easy, and they face many challenges along the way. The heat of the sun beats down on them relentlessly, and their hands are blistered and sore from all the hard work. But they refuse to give up, and their perseverance pays off as the town slowly starts to come back to life. As the days go by, the once desolate streets start to fill with people, and the sound of laughter and chatter fills the air. The buildings that were once in ruins now stand tall and proud, a testament to the hard work and dedication of Kazuma and his party. In the end, it's not just the town that has been restored, but also the hope and faith of the people who call it home. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Which anime couple ship the most and why? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. On a bitterly cold winter day, with snow falling heavily outside, most adventurers would be content to stay indoors and bask in the warmth of their hard-earned victories against the evil Beldia. However, Kazuma is not most adventurers. Despite the biting chill, he can't help but feel a sense of restlessness. After all, he's still saddled with an enormous debt thanks to Aqua's careless spending. So, with a deep sigh, he sets out to browse the quest board in search of something to alleviate his financial woes. As he peruses the various offerings, Kazuma can't help but feel a twinge of annoyance when he sees the quests that Darkness and Megumin have picked out for themselves. Subjugating white wolves and one-punch bears? Hardly worth his time, he thinks to himself. But just as he's about to give up hope, his eyes alight on a new quest, scouting out something called the Destroyer. It piques his interest, but he ultimately decides to pass it up in favour of a simpler, more straightforward quest, subjugating snow sprites. Aqua agrees, though Megumin seems a bit put out by the decision, while Darkness is practically bouncing with excitement. As our adventurers trek through the wintry forest, bundled up in their warm winter attire, they have their sights set on a unique destination, the gathering spot of the elusive snow sprites. Kazuma leads the way, his sword at the ready, while Aqua follows closely behind, armed with bottles for capturing the sprites. The air is crisp and still, and the snow crunches beneath their feet with every step they take. Suddenly a group of snow sprites dart past, and Kazuma wastes no time in pursuing them. With lightning-fast reflexes, he slashes at the fleeing creatures, hoping to capture at least one. Meanwhile, Aqua is on the lookout for any stragglers, ready to scoop them up in her bottles and keep them cool until the heat of summer arrives. But their peaceful mission is interrupted when the Winter Shogun appears, intent on protecting the snow sprites at all costs. Megumin quickly feigns death, hoping to avoid any confrontation, while Darkness eagerly takes up her sword and charges towards the guardian sprite. Her excitement is palpable as she engages in battle, drawing upon the imagery of other Japanese reincarnates to fuel her passion. Despite her best efforts, Darkness is no match for the Winter Shogun, and her sword is soon severed.
He broke my blade!
Aqua realizes that the situation has gotten out of hand and quickly releases the captured snow sprites, hoping to appease the angry guardian. She advises her companions to drop their weapons and perform dojiza, a traditional Japanese form of apology and supplication. However, Darkness's pride proves too great, and she refuses to submit. Kazuma, recognizing the danger of the situation, rushes forward to press her head down in submission. But in his haste, he forgets to drop his sword, and as a result, he is tragically beheaded by the Winter Shogun. In the afterlife dimension, Eris, who exudes an air of divinity, graciously extends her condolences to Kazuma. However, Kazuma laments about how his reincarnated life has been ruined by his troublesome party members. Despite his complaints, he is taken aback when Eris proposes to reincarnate him into a completely new life. His emotions overwhelm him, and he finds himself shedding tears as he reminisces about the moments he shared with his companions. Just as Kazuma is about to embark on his new journey, Aqua chimes in, summoning Kazuma's soul to return to his body. She informs him that she has already cast resurrection, bringing him back to life. Despite his initial protests, Aqua's persistence pays off, and she manages to blackmail Eris into opening the door to the afterlife by citing her chest pads. As Kazuma emerges from the realm of the departed and rejoins the land of the living, he is immediately enveloped in a warm embrace by his relieved comrades Megumin and Darkness. Though grateful for their concern, Kazuma can't help but feel a twinge of disappointment with Aqua, especially when compared to his beloved goddess Eris. As they make their way back to the guild, Kazuma can't help but notice the exhaustion etched on the faces of Megumin and Darkness. It dawns on him that perhaps they are not yet strong enough to tackle the challenging winter quests that lie ahead. Just when Kazuma's spirits are at their lowest, Aqua suddenly reveals a surprise, a captured snow sprite that she had kept hidden during their quest. Despite his earlier misgivings, Kazuma can't help but feel impressed by Aqua's cunning and resourcefulness. As they reflect on their adventure, Kazuma finds himself once again pondering the true nature of his companions. Though he considers Eris to be the main heroine of their story, he can't help but feel a sense of disillusionment with his gluttonous and self-absorbed companions. As Kazuma and Aqua venture through the mystical realm, their journey takes an unexpected turn as they stumble upon a magic shop owned by a lich named Wiz.
Come here, you undead tramp! Gods, I'll burn this place to the ground with you!
Not only does Wiz offer them enchanting trinkets, but she also shares a shocking secret about herself. She reveals that she used to be a general under the notorious Devil King's reign, tasked with protecting a barrier enclosing his castle. As the party learns the Drain Touch skill from the kind-hearted Lich, they decide to take on a new request to exorcise malevolent spirits that have been terrorizing a mansion. The mansion's owners offer them shelter from the harsh winter as a token of gratitude. However, as the night falls, the peaceful atmosphere takes a sharp turn for the worse. Kazuma and Megumin find themselves fleeing from an army of possessed dolls, and their urgent need for a restroom adds to the chaos. After the haunting encounter, the party wakes up to the aftermath of the chaos. Aqua, taking responsibility, reveals that her past actions were the reason behind the mansion's haunting. Before we continue, big shout out to Random Gibberish Channel 27 who commented, "Zoro, reason why, he's cool and I just like how he is always getting lost, but when there is an enemy he goes all serious," on our Rent-a-Girlfriend recap. Zoro is goated for sure. Now back to the recap. Kazuma and his adventure buddies Keith and Dust, on an unforgettable quest as they venture to a mysterious shop run by succubi. These alluring creatures provide male adventurers with much needed relief by giving them erotic dreams, and Kazuma is intrigued by their services. After enjoying a sumptuous crab feast, the trio takes a relaxing soak in the bath. However, Kazuma's peaceful slumber is interrupted when darkness enters the bath.
I always imagined she'd have a slamming body, but...
Mistaking her for a succubus, Kazuma tries to order her to do some rather dubious things. Before they can proceed any further, Aqua appears and announces that she has trapped the succubus before she could incite Kazuma's dream. To Kazuma's chagrin, the rest of the gang gives him a good thrashing for his inappropriate behavior. Nevertheless, Kazuma remains determined to help the succubus escape from Aqua's clutches. The following day, the group receives news that a menacing mobile fortress known as the Destroyer is approaching their town. With members perfectly suited for the job, Kazuma's party, including Wiz, is chosen to lead the attack against the Destroyer. As they prepare for battle, Darkness reveals her true name to Kazuma, introducing herself as Dustiness Ford Lalatina, the daughter of a well-regarded family.
Lalatina.
Never call me by that name again!
During the assault, the party utilizes Aqua's barrier-breaking spells, as well as Megumin and Wiz's explosion magic, to take down the imposing Destroyer. However, their triumph is short-lived as the fortress triggers a self-destruct sequence. Racing against time, the group ventures inside the fortress to find a way to prevent its detonation. Luck seems to be on their side, as Kazuma discovers the power source and quickly devises a plan to have Wiz teleport it to safety. With the power source now out of harm's way, Megumin unleashes a powered-up explosion, successfully destroying the fortress. As the town celebrates its newfound peace, Kazuma's sense of relief is cut short by an unexpected twist of fate. He finds himself under arrest, accused of inadvertently destroying a noble's mansion with the power source he teleported away. Well, we have reached the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recaps just like this. We'll be recapping Season 2 as well, if you guys enjoyed our Season 1 recap, so don't forget to comment below if you want to see Season 2.